SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko joins us live now from Cape Town, where he's currently covering and monitoring all the developments in the lead-up to the official ANC's 113th birthday celebrations that take place this weekend. Samkele, good to have you with us. So you are on the ground watching all developments for us in Cape Town. We have seen the ANC delegation, including, of course, the party president there, visiting various memorial sites across the city, but quite interesting is the question of the specific venue and city. Is there a particular significance tying in with this year's celebrations for the celebrations to be held in the Western Cape?
The ANC normally rotates its January 8 statements across all 9 provinces of the country. This time around, it is the turn of the Western Cape to host this particular January 8. We did hear earlier on the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, saying that they had seen and they had notified that Greenpoint Stadium was not available, Athlone Stadium was not available. The Western Cape Provincial Executive Committee and officials had then advised that this January 8 be held in another province. But the ANC officials said that no, it will be held in the Western Cape, even if it is a small stadium. But it is the turn of the Western Cape to hold this particular January 8, and it must go ahead. And thus, the ANC continued with the celebrations that will be held ultimately on Saturday at the Khayelitsha Stadium. That will be addressed by the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa. But typically, in South African terminology, many South Africans and those who are detractors of the governing party basically saying that they have diminished, they can no longer fill Greenpoint Stadium as yesterday they could when Songezo Zibi was still the provincial secretary of the ANC here in the Western Cape, and Marius Fransman, the provincial chairperson, in around 2015 when the Western Cape held the January 8 statement of the ANC. But times have changed since then. The ANC has electorally declined, the ANC has suffered financially, and one may even say they can no longer afford to go to a big stadium, particularly after a grueling election period where they spent millions and millions of rands only to dip below 50% and no longer govern the country alone.
And the party president there, Samkele, earlier saying that business is rather confident in that they will be funding the ANC despite the electoral decline. But now rumors are, Samkele, that some regions, namely Gauteng and Mpumalanga, and some whispers of KZN might not even be sending some delegates to attend this particular celebrations. What are you getting on the ground in terms of such whispers?
That is certainly the truth. The provinces neighboring the Western Cape, other provinces of the ANC, will not be ferrying any buses to the Western Cape. Instead, ANC members will only and supporters will only come from the Western Cape province to go to the Khayelitsha Stadium. The ANC is raising the issue of the safety of its members and supporters, saying that a number of incidents have taken place at these January 8 rallies of the ANC when people are going back home. But one will also factor in that the ANC has been bleeding financially, and probably they can no longer just afford to ferry people from Gauteng, from Free State, from Mpumalanga, from Limpopo to come to the Western Cape, and in particular to the Cape Metro for this January 8 statement. They've had to scale down drastically. We did ask Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa, the Treasurer General of the ANC, on how much it cost the ANC for its January 8 statement last year in Mpumalanga. How much is it costing them this time around here in the Western Cape, judging that it is significantly scaled down. She was not able to come forth with a figure at this point in time, so we can allude that it may be what they are saying is true, that it's a longer distance to ferry people. They will put their lives at risk, but also there is definitely a financial aspect to it, that they simply can no longer go big and splash as they would in yesteryear due to the electoral decline and the Party Funding Act hammering them as well financially.
And I suppose, Samkele, the big question will also be whether or not the announcement of whether the KZN and Gauteng PCs will be disbanded, or what their future actually looks like. And the question of Zuma threatening court action over his expulsion once again. A lot of accounting to be done on the part of the ANC, including the Tony Yengeni versus Balula spat as well.
Indeed, there is a myriad of issues facing the governing party. On the 16th to the 19th of January, they will be holding their ordinary NEC meet or a special NEC meeting to look at the issues pertaining to KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, whether they're disbanding those provinces or not. That will be that particular weekend where the National Executive Committee will sit. That issue will be deliberated then. At this point in time, it has been put into abeyance. There is a report that has been compiled by the ANC's National Working Committee. The Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, has communicated that they will be charging Tony Yengeni, they will be charging Obed Papela. We will be waiting with anticipated breath and looking at those particular issues and investigations and cases once they are concluded by the ANC on Tony Yengeni, ANC veteran and stalwart, and also Obed Papela.
And maybe in conclusion, Samkele, just take us through how the current preparations are going towards that final push on Saturday. Today, we understand that the president teed off on his golf challenge, marking the official start of these celebrations. What happens until Saturday at the official, of course, celebrations at the Nelson Mandela Park?
ANC members are still out and about campaigning. ANC leaders are campaigning. They're gathering and trying to woo these residents of the Cape Metro and the Western Cape broadly to go to this particular stadium where the president of the ANC will give that January 8th statement of the National Executive Committee. Right now, the ANC Women's League is having an event here in Kailicha, which is a Manyano program of the Women's League. It's a prayer session. The president of the Women's League, Sisi Ntombela, will address this particular event with the Treasurer General of the ANC, TikTok, when Ramahupa. Also saw some ANC, NEC members, they are here, and the President of the ANC Youth League, Colin Malaji, who has also addressed it. Then tomorrow, the ANC Youth League will host a Peter Mokaba lecture on the lives and times of the former President of the ANC Youth League that will be addressed by the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, just like he did in the ANC's January 8th statement that was held in Bloemfontein a few years ago.
Thank you so much for that comprehensive update. Samkele Maseko, the SABC News senior reporter in Cape Town for us.